What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and today we're going to be talking about the easiest way to make millions of MUTCOINS in Madden 26 Ultimate Team. I've been getting a lot of feedback about the differences between the different modes, whether you play online head-to-head, against other savages that just do whatever, or playing against a CPU. So let's break it down real quick, all right? Head-to-head seasons, right now we're in Legend. I don't even know what my record is because I didn't really focus in on this. I wanted to do the head-to-head rank. Once I became a top 100 player, I've been playing seasons again. Gauntlet is absolutely sweaty. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody understands that. It yields the best reward for the amount of games, but it is, extremely sweaty. All right, so there is another question that some of you guys were asking. I'm going to actually show it to you in the video so you understand what EA has done. They've made it so you have to play 25 ranked games a week to get the token to get into Gauntlet for free. That is different than it was with MUT Champs. I'm going to explain to you guys why, right? Once you make the top 100, there is a chance that if you have a certain number that's close to where the top 100 falls off, that you'll still get the top 100 player. We do not know if EA has patched that for this year. So if you get top 100, some of us just choose to stop because it gets really crazy just having to play it and play it and play it. EA should just have a set number where if you get to it, you get the reward. All the other stuff that they're doing doesn't make any sense because realistically speaking, right, if it shows that you get a reward at 3,200, everyone should get that reward at 3,200. It's common sense, but I digress. Now, when you go to the events are very lucrative, but per week. Okay, so when you go through the first week, right, like every week is a different run. So I already got my run for this, right, where you get the token and you get a free 85 or 86, whatever they're going to give you as the overalls go up from the season 1 event. This is against a human player. Okay, you can look at the numbers. So pretty much I made 400k plus whatever amount of packs I got through my run. So this per week, you should be making at least 500k if you're choosing to play the events. All right, that's just point blank right there. If you refuse to do it and you want to play the CPU, it's more time consuming, but it may be less stress for you. So you don't have to deal with the nonsense. Every 9 games is going to get you packs and 30k. So you'd have to play a lot, coin wise, but if you pull something good out of that 78 plus, maybe you just stop. You see what I'm saying? Because you can get anything. And remember, those are not B&Ds, guys. Those packs can be auctioned and whatever. So if you get lucky, it's really good stuff for my no money spent players. Now, I'm going to break this down for you guys so you understand. There's some pluses and there's some minuses. Number one, some of you guys were asking about the levels. Does this level go towards your actual field pass and MUT? No. When you play solo champions, that level is specifically for these, what they show you here to get the packs that are in here. It has nothing to do with your regular field pass. And I got a lot of those questions, so I wanted to make sure it was clarified. The different levels of rewards and everything that you get, as you play through it, you get different tokens that will unlock more difficulty. So from, easy to medium to all Madden, all that stuff. And you can see the packs, they start to go up. All right, you don't see any coin action, but you see packs, right? So as you go through it, it continues to increase. I tried this out. The first game I got DC'd somehow. I don't know what happened. Randomly just, cut out. But you have a certain amount of games where you can get the XP needed to do it. But I wanted to try it out to make sure I can explain it to you guys. And you can see that I'm 9,000 away. So that would bring me to level 1 once I get to 24,000. So this XP is completely different from the field pass. That's why I played it, to see what EA was doing. Because I saw XP. I'm like, yo, let me see what this is about. Now, solo seasons the league. All right. This is something where you got to play a ton of games, bro. It's a lot of games being played. If you're an offline player, like where you just play in the CPU in MUT, it works. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a decent amount. You go to the playoffs, all that stuff. It'll work out for you. If you're not, I would urge you guys to just deal with the dudes that you play online, get more bang for your time, because this is very time consuming, but I'm pretty sure that there are going to be glitches in this with the packs and stuff like that as you go along. Now, with this one right here, right, the run is probably the best one to do, because as you go through them, you get more and more packs. And every single time that you go through it, the opportunity for you pulling something crazy is just right there. So if you were to ask me, okay, G, which one is the most lucrative for a no money spent player, as far as offline, I would say solo season's the run. Like, there's no doubt about it. Now look, some of you guys might be saying, yo, it's a bunch of pack trash, stuff like that. Once they drop any promo that requires cards and you have them, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be laughing at everybody else and saying, yeah, it's all pack trash. Because we see that Thornton, even though he's a 72, has gone for as much as 200K, even more, prior to the early launch or whatever. But some of these cards are going to be very hard to get for specific sets. And once that happens, you'll end up having them because that's where most likely the cards are going to be that are really, really trash. So I would recommend that. That, again, it's my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but I can show you the proof in the pudding. Now, for those of you guys that like to flirt with the store, I got my money spenders. I'm not going to leave you guys out. Everybody is welcome here, right? So you can look at the store and just not spend money. All right, I'm just letting you guys know that. You can look like, yo, all right, let me just take a look. I'm out of here. Packs like this draw you in because of that perspective of an 85 overall player. There is no need to spend $30 every day on Madden Ultimate Team. Like, I don't know if you need to hear that, but you don't need to do it. If something is appealing to you and it makes sense, go for it. But this right here, it's like, yo, Superstar Opportunity Pack. Like, who's making up the names for this? Like, I'm not doing this. That's a choice, though. You could decide that you want to do it. These 1 cent packs, though, make sure that you're opening them whenever you have the time. Because in certain cases, EA is going to give you something really glitchy, or they may make the pack repeatable by mistake. And it happens a lot. And once that happens, they do it every year, you go crazy on it. You know what I'm saying? And make sure you get as much out of it as possible. Things like this with B&D, like I told you guys, I am not a B&D type of guy. I don't like it. I think that it's ridiculous for the game. Be careful if you get B&Ds. Even though you can pull any card in the game while they're live, while they're in packs, and they can be B&D. Like, you could pull Sean Taylor, even though he's a limited, but he'll be B&D. Still tread lightly with that. I don't like the B&D idea. I still think it's really bad for the game. All right? As you go through all the things that are available now, though, you can see that only certain things are still lucrative. There aren't a lot of things that you can do or utilize in the game right now. And I would tell you right now, don't play around with training. Leave training alone right now. As far as the season specials, as you progress through your field pass, more and more of these will unlock. You getting them is 100% your choice. The W fantasy pack, I'm pretty sure it's really an L fantasy pack. I'm just letting you guys know how it works for my money spenders. I know you guys don't care, you drop all this money, but it has to make sense for me to spend my money. So I gotta make sure that I tell you guys the way that it actually is. That's just, honestly the way I feel about it. So make sure that you're careful with that. Another thing that you guys are still raving about is the 79 plus Boomer Bust pack. I would not waste my tickets this early in the year on this. I know it can be glitchy. I understand that you guys are pulling great things. I am not going to promote it to my viewers because I know for a fact EA got a whole, dude, it's a whole just sock of coal waiting for me, and it ain't Christmas. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching. Hopefully this makes somebody a millionaire. Until next time, one love, y'all.